Welcome. In this module, let's see about planning. Under planning, we are going to see about what is the nature of planning, purpose of planning, what is the planning process, and types of planning. First, let's see about planning. Every organization, as part of its life cycle, constantly engages in the four essential functions of management, that is, planning, leading, organizing, and controlling. The foremost of this is planning. It is a part of management concerned with creating procedures, rules, and guidelines for achieving a stated objective. All other managerial functions must be planned if they are to be effective. So, let's see what is planning. Planning is the most basic of all managerial functions, which involves establishing goals, setting out objectives, and defining the methods by which these goals and objectives are to be obtained. It is therefore a rational approach to achieve pre-selected objective. Planning involves selecting missions and objectives and the actions to achieve them. All the organizations will have their own vision, mission, and objective. An important aspect of planning is decision making, that is, choosing the right alternatives for the future course of action. Organizations have to typically plan for long range and short range future directions. By forecasting and predicting the market and socio-political economic trends, managers can plan to determine where they deserve the company to be in the future. Planning involves determining various types and volumes of physical and other resources to be acquired from outside, allocating these resources in an effective manner among competing clients, and to make arrangement for systematic conversion of these resources into useful outputs. Since plans are made to attain goals or objectives, every plan should lead to the achievement of the organization's purpose and objective. Next, let's see about the nature of planning. Planning involves the task of deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do it, and who will do it. A manager has to answer four basic questions while formulating a plan. Where are we now? Realistic assessment of current situation. Where do we want to be? Gap between where we are and where we want to be. And how do we get there? So, according to these questions, we can frame the nature of planning. So, the nature of planning comes with planning is goal oriented. The first nature is planning is goal oriented. That is nothing but plan arise from objectives. Objective provides guidelines for planning. So the initial step for planning is we have to set the objective of the organization. The next nature is it is a primary function. So as we know, so if you want to organize or develop an organization, the first thing we want to do is then we have to set the objective, and then the primary function is planning provides a basic foundation from which all future management functions arise. And the next nature is it is pervasive, that is it recur at all level of management. It is not an exclusive function of any management level or department. Managers have to plan for every change that occurs in the organization. However, the scope of planning differs at all levels and among different departments. The next nature is it is mental activity. Planning is a mental process involving imagination, foresightedness, and sound judgment. Plans are based on careful analysis of internal and external factors influencing business activities. It is carried out in a logical and systematic manner. And the next nature of planning is it is a continuous process. That is, planning is an ongoing process of adapting the organization with the change in business environment. In each and every level, the planning process to be done. Since a business exists in a dynamic environment, it is necessary to continuously plan based on changing business needs and situations. The next nature of planning is it involves choice. That is, it is essentially a choice among various alternative courses of action. A manager has to select the best alternative after careful analysis and evaluation. The next nature of planning is it is forward looking. Planning means looking ahead and preparing for the future. It involves analysis of the future needs and requirements of the business and preparing for it. And the next one is it is flexible. Planning is based on future forecast of events and situations. Since future is uncertain, plans are flexible enough to adapt with future change of events. And the next nature is it is an integrated process. So the plans are structured in a systematic and logical sequence where each plan or step is highly interdependent and mutually supportive. It includes effective and efficient dimensions. So the plans aim at optimum utilization of resources to be effective and are based on predetermined objectives to measure effectiveness of the plan. So these are the nature of planning. As we have seen the nature of planning, next let's see about elements of a plan. That is, before planning something, what are the elements we have to be considered? That is, first element is objective. So objective is nothing but it's a goals established to guide the activities of the enterprise. The next element is policies. So what is policy? A policy is a basic statement that guides action and decision making. It sets behavioral limits on managers. The next element is procedures and methods. A procedure is a well thought out course of action. It prescribes the specific way to do a particular job. Methods are subunits of procedure. They indicate the technique to be used to make the procedure effective. And the next element is rules. What is rule? A rule specified necessary course of action in respect of a situation. It prescribes restrictions and a definite and rigid course of action. Next element is strategy. Strategy is nothing but it is a plan of action designed to achieve long-term or overall aim. And the next element is programs. Programs are precise plans of action followed in proper sequence in accordance with objectives, policies, and procedures. And the next element is budgets. A budget is an estimate of men, money, material, and machine required for successful implementation of plan. That is nothing but 5 M's of management. And the last element of the plan is projects. A project is a particular job that needs to be done in connection with the general program. Next, let's see about the purpose of planning. The importance of planning as a major constituent in the management process is universally accepted. The basic reasons supporting systematic planning by managers are sense of direction, resource scarcity, and uncertainty. So, besides the above, there are several practical reasons for formulating plans. That is, by planning, the organization will focus on the activity on a set of consciously created objectives, and it provides a systematic goal for future activities, and it will increase organizational outcome through efficient operation. And also it encourages systematic thinking. That is, it's in the planning facilities effective delegation of authority, remove communication gap, and thereby raise overall efficiency. Then we shall see about planning process. So this planning process consists of 6 steps. The first step is establishment of objectives, then developing premises, evaluating and selecting selection of alternatives, formulating directive formulating derivative plans, securing cooperation and participation, review and follow up. So first let's see what is this establishment of objectives. So it involves identification of goals and objectives of the organization by carefully examining the internal and external environment affecting the business. Then the next planning process is developing premises. Developing premises is nothing but premises are assumptions about the environment in which plans are made and implemented. Thus, assumptions about market demand, cost of raw material, technology to be used, population growth, government policy, etc. are to be made while formulating a plan. Next, it is necessary to evaluate and select from the alternatives. So the changes in the external environment pose different alternatives for organizations to carry out a particular task. After selecting the alternative, the plans to be formulated, that is formulating derivative plans. Derivative plans are secondary plans formulated to support the basic plan. And then securing cooperation and participation. Manager must involve people from various departments and take their suggestions and criticism to rectify the defects in the plan, if any. Participation of employees in formulation of plans motivates them to carry out the plan and best of their abilities. The last one is review and follow up. That is nothing but providing for the follow up. Plans are constantly reviewed to ensure their relevance and effectiveness with the changing dynamics in the business environment. It helps to develop sound plans for the future and avoiding mistakes that surface after or while implementing a plan. Next, let's see about the types of planning. So basically, the planning is divided into 3 types, that is strategic plans, tactical plans, and operational plans. So the strategic plan defines a framework of the organization's vision and how the organization intends to make its vision a reality. Tactical plan, it describes the tactics that the managers plan to adapt to achieve the objectives set in the strategic plan. The next one is the operational plan. Operational plans are short term, that is less than a year plans developed to create specific action steps that support the strategic and tactical plans. This operational plan can be standing plans or it can be ongoing plans. So standing plan means it can be drawn to cover issues that managers face repeatedly, that is the policies, procedures and rules. Ongoing plans are prepared for single or exceptional situation or problems and are normally discarded or replaced after one use. That is the programs, projects and budgets. Other than this, we have some other types of plans, that is formal and informal planning, functional and corporate planning, and proactive and reactive planning. So formal planning is nothing but it is a well planned document with written record of what the organization intends to do within a given time frame. Informal planning is an unstructured, poorly designed plan which are orally communicated and not recorded. Functional, it involves planning for a particular unit, deals with parts such as marketing, finance, production, HR in a related manner. Corporate, it is comprehensive plan that outlines the broad objective of the company. And the last one is proactive and reactive plan. Proactive means managers anticipate the challenges and risk of the future and prepare alternative plan and take suitable steps in order to adapt with unforeseen changes. Reactive means managers plan to react to an external event. So now it's the end of the session. So in this presentation, we have seen about the nature and purpose of planning, planning process, and types of planning. Thank you.